I'm an audience developer because that's where we all started, being audience, unless you were Justin Bieber, I think. And that's why I interviewed this young jazz pianist who's called Barbara. And I'll tell her a lot about her because that is one of the things I do. I use outreach strategies. It's very simple. My my tools are very old-fashioned measurements. I use asking questions to get to know people's desires, and then I try to fulfill them together with them, and together with the people in the organization that I work with. This is what they hear all the time when they play. Oh, how sweet you all look. It's a typical reaction from the audience that 22-year-old pianist Barbara and the other 4 young women get when they have a job playing their own music composed in their jazz band Esther's Orchestra. And it's a reaction that Barbara has 2 different responses to. One is it makes her proud that the audience hear and see that they are just as good as the boys. And the other one is boys would never get that kind of reaction. Then it would be more like, wow, great solo. She would love to hear that one day. But she also knows what it takes, and she's not really sure she wants to pay that price. She said to me, girls don't play solos, they are one organism. So even though Barbara and Esther's orchestra never play as many solos as boys do, she would like to do it. But that is both because they don't play solos, both because they don't think they're ready to throw a bunch of solos yet, and because their solos are not perfect. And because they think that solos are way overrated and takes too much space in concerts. The girls in Esther's orchestra wants to create total experience for the audience, and as Barbara says, we have been praised for being an organism. She proudly states that. But, and this is the best part, she's very aware about the dilemma in here. She said to me that she knows what it takes, the price she doesn't want to pay. She says, you need to attend concerts, go backstage and say, hi, I'm great, just as your guys, call me next time. But she does not think at herself as a musician. She's more a listener that gets inspiration. She tells me that in order to become a jazz musician that actually earn money, you would have to be willing to play not so high profile jobs, just like the boys. And they mingle and they get contacts and they teach on the side. They dare to take chances. And that is the price that I talked about earlier. And that is the price that Barbara don't want to pay. Plus, and this is very, very important, she feels like a fish in the water where she is now, which is university. And then there's another fact. She knows that she can get a comforting, steady, and lovely job afterwards. She's not really sure about that, becoming a professional musician. So Barbara realized during our interview that the girls at her study deep down look upon themselves as on a different level than the boys. I don't know whether it's lower, it's just a different. She really enjoys her science of music study. She says she's performing now and she's crossing boundaries. And she can see that the girls feel more under pressure than the boys when it comes to, example, rehearsing the things that they have done themselves. And this is where she said to me, I feel a bit unusual here because I feel like a fish in the water. I know I love it. And she said she knows that many girls question their own inner nerd because they came from a place where once they were the very best. But so did Barbara. She also came from such a place. And now she said something that really was interesting for me. I hate to sound like I show off because I need the girls. She actually thinks she's a very good pianist. Actually, she thinks she's one of the very best. But she would hate to be called arrogant because she needs her own sex to identify with. And the community gives her extremely much, even though she seeks the boys more now because she moved forward in her musical company. At her high school, it's St. Denis, for those who knows that, 2 music teachers, women, wondered about what we talk about today. So they had governmental funding for 4 workshops for girls only, and the teachers were only professional women musicians because they also wanted role models. The role models taught the girls to form the music together, and the girls were given a professional network on a silver plate. And the girls heard that family life and a life as a professional musician is possible. But most important, they learned that it is all about the motto, to dare. The project ended with a jazz concert. And Barbara now was aware that what held her back before was that, and to some extent also today, her lack of self-confidence and because she's shy. It's not her skills and it's not her professional level, because that's very high, she admits. I asked her about quotas, because that is something that I have to say like this. I'm Danish, quotas. We don't like them. We very seldom discuss quotas in Denmark. So I asked her, and she answered she would hate quotas because it would be unsatisfying not to know whether she's been chosen because she's a woman or because she's a good musician. We would have to deal with this because she doesn't have to choose between whether she's good or woman. There must be something in between. Right, and then I said, but what about role models? And she said, I don't really know whether I need role models. And then I said, but you tend to P-Linjen and you had role models yourself. And she said, yeah, I know. And it gave me self-confidence, but I don't really know whether I would be it myself. Have you asked yourself these questions? What is it about jazz that just does not sell itself to women? I know there are women, but let's play this game for a while. Maybe the jazzmen are happy without women. Maybe the touring, the drinking is a problem. I don't know. Maybe the brand frightens away women. Maybe the customers are satisfied somewhere else. You don't know. I'd like to know. I think you should ask. Right, here I end Barbara's recommendations. Girls need to play ugly tones in order to find out what works. Girls cannot learn to play together at home. Girls and boys who are great to play with are the ones that are listening. Ensemble demands energy. Be like men, they play in different constellations to become better. Not one orchestra, many orchestras. It's not mine, it's Barbara's.
Você